Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. Halftime's over with, kids, and we are on to the third quarter here this morning. Thanks for hanging out with us and tuning in. All right, we're doing something a little different with the video stream. We're up on Facebook and YouTube, so if you're seeing me try to play with some graphics or some different stuff out there, bear with me. I'm trying to do it on the fly here. But hey, I would love some more comments on Facebook and YouTube. Don't forget to click that subscribe or follow bell on YouTube. If we consistently get more on there, I'm going to throw them up there on the stream so you guys can participate with one another. So keep those coming, all right? Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. I want to hear from you. Section 105. All right, I want to hear from you. So pitter patter, get at her. Otherwise, you can hit us up with a text on that Shoe Doctors Bullpen line too at 715-830-1912. We got RJ Cardinal coming up in about 20 minutes or so. We're going to switch gears and talk a little Badgers with him as we get set for the college football season. Badger volleyball just had that. We're in action this past weekend and at the Pfizer Forum, so they're underway. So we're back to the fall sports landscape, baby. We're here, so we get to actually talk about some games and getting closer to kickoff. So RJ will be joining us here in just a little bit. Brewers are also back in action tonight. 6:10 first pitch. Kyle Harrison is on the mound for the Crew, looking for his 11th win on the season. You can listen to that game on your radio dials of 105.1 FM and 790 AM. Coverage will begin about 35 minutes prior. Packers-wise, closed practice today, the final public practice. If you want one more shot to get over there and watch it, it's tomorrow. It's a joint practice with the Cardinals. So if the kids are not in school yet, grab your bikes and maybe a Packer or maybe even a Cardinal player will ride that bike. But it's the final public practice is tomorrow, off day Thursday, and then the final preseason game of the year coming your way Friday at Lambeau Field. Jordan Love, a lot of those starters, not going to play. So, but yesterday we had an open practice, and wasn't a great day for the offense. Wasn't a great day for the offense by all the accounts out there. And I was reading a little bit from Bill Huber from SI, and he noted on here, he had the winners and losers from camp, from practice yesterday. And he said loser category, Jordan Love. But this is what he had to say. This had nothing to do with Jordan Love's performance. Instead, it was the complete chaos surrounding Love with another day of relentless pressure applied by Jonathan Gannon's defense, leaving him with few good options more often than not. His final pass of the day was a no-look check down that wasn't even close to the target, perhaps intentionally. Also listed Josh Jacobs on there and Marshawn Lloyd and the offensive line. And so we could kind of look at this and be like, okay, yeah. Defense relentless, but still some concerns with the offensive line. I like the fact that, all right, Jonathan Gannon, I don't care that it's practice. I don't care that it's training camp. Bring the noise to this group. Test this offensive line. We have heard how many times from like Aaron Rodgers, especially over the years when he was with the Packers, but we have heard over the years that these teams, these players get more out of practice instead of preseason games. Good. I'm glad that Gannon is going out there and doing this and bringing the noise on every single snap. Test these offensive linemen. give them a beating. Because this is probably the best way to try to prepare for this upcoming season. We all know that there is questions on the offensive line. And from all of the national people out there, the national analysts, the rankings that are out there, the Packers offensive line, not a lot of the quote-unquote experts are given some love or given some high expectations for this offensive line. And from a lot of you, too, you're still concerned about it. So I'm happy to hear that Jonathan Gannon and this defense is bringing the noise. I just hope it's not foreshadowing what's to come this regular season for the offensive line. Because if this is what's going to happen constantly in the regular season, it's going to be a long, long season. Good test. Keep bringing it. And I just hope by default, too, it's going to be something we could count on for the defense in the regular season. But some other winners that Bill put out there. Carrington Valentine. Carrington Valentine got off to a strong start at training camp but suffered a hamstring injury. That injury opened the door for Brandon Cisse to get in the starting lineup. Valentine is back, and he's on top of his game early in practice. He broke up a deep pass from Tyrod Taylor. Later, on 3rd and 3 during a 2-minute, he broke up another pass, too. A lot of defensive players here for winners. Brandon Cisse, after winning 2 of 3 reps against Matthew Golden in one-on-ones, when he showed incredible patience to prevent red zone completions, Cisse, during the first play of team drills, stopped a perimeter run by Josh Jacobs. A few plays later, a perimeter pass to Golden didn't get anywhere because Cisse beat the blocker to make the stop. Benjamin St. Just was a loser because but he missed a practice with a hamstring injury. So, yep, that probably opens the door mostly for Nixon to be on there. Winner, though, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, it sounded like Keyshawn Nixon had a good day at practice yesterday. And as Bill says, Nixon had by far his best day of the summer, might have clinched his starting job at corner. Nixon intercepted Jordan Love on a 4th and 10 in a 2-minute drill and denied one deep shot to Jaden Reed and 2 more to Matthew Golden. Great. Now, can you stack that success and can you keep building on that? Can you keep going? Jonathan Ford was also listed as a winner. Ford isn't going to just make the team. He's probably going to be the number 1 choice at nose tackle. He's taken the first snaps in both preseason games and at practice for the last couple of weeks because he's been so consistently good. He hasn't been just a 2-gapping nose tackle. He's been an honest-to-goodness playmaker. He's tied for the team lead in pressures during the preseason, according to Pro Football Focus. Baron Sorrell also listed as a winner. Bill noted that he will be the unquestioned starter opposite of Lucas Van Ness. He's going to be a solid player. There's no doubt about that. But can he be an impact player? During one period, it was starters versus starters for 9 snaps. On the first play, he chased down Josh Jacobs from the backside. On the third play, he had a good pass rush against Zebach, Zach Tom, formerly known as Zach Tom. On the 4th play, he was impossible to see what happened, but a handoff to Marshawn Lloyd ended up in Sorrell's hands. On the 9th play, 3rd and 5, he rushed up the middle and got in the face of Love to force an incompletion. Van Ness was also listed as a winner, too. All right. Can we, it's hard not to get excited about this if you're a Packers fan and you're getting ready for the season, but here's the thing. Can this happen in the regular season now? Because we've been down this path before, right? Not to be a negative Debbie Downer or anything, but we've been down this path before when it comes to training camp stuff and preseason, and man, that looks good in practice and that looks good in these preseason games, but let's see it go to the regular season here, right? A lot is being made about, and I get it, I understand it too. A lot's being made about Mike LaFleur, new head coach of the Cardinals, coming over, Matt LaFleur, brothers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But nobody's really asked a question about, Jonathan Gannon's also going up against his old team, right? I mean, he's going up against his old team. Hopefully he brings maybe a little bit. I know it's just practice and it's just a preseason game, but come on. The competitors too, right? Probably wants to dial up a little bit of the extra pressure and probably wants to maybe shut down that offense. Haven't really heard a whole lot about that. But, hey, today, I don't know if it's going to be this morning, but if this is your jam, the rivalry jersey that the Packers are going to be wearing is supposed to be announced today, along with the Bears one, too, because that's the game. So if that's your jam, that's going to be announced today. So, yes, another jersey, color, uniform, style, however you want to describe it, it's going to be revealed today. I feel like, and they did a teaser video, was it last week, at the end of last week? And just kind of looking at it, I think you're going to see more of the gold color. And you go back to Ed Policy's comments earlier in the offseason where he said something about, paraphrasing here, but he kind of alluded to it with, the history, the fan part of it. And, you were thinking, oh, is it going to be like a cheesehead theme? Is it going to be, it can't be beer, brat? What have we always called the Packers, though? And it's been green and gold. And usually it's pretty much green and yellow, but we've always said green and gold. And the video showed a lot of gold-colored bricks. Yellow brick road, kind of, sort of. I don't know. But it looked like the Lambeau Field bricks, but dashed in gold. So I wonder if it's going to be kind of that green that's outside of Lambeau Field and then gold. Like a traditional gold. That's my guess. I don't know if it's released yet. I'm not on Twitter right now, so I don't know if it's dropped or anything like that. But if that is your jam, did it drop? I think it did. Oh, no, we don't know. So, okay. I just opened up Twitter and I saw people posting stuff. So, yeah. Anyways, all right, let's switch gears here. Let's take a quick break. And we're going to switch it up and talk some college football. We're going to talk some Badgers with Mr. RJ Cardinal. We got Badger volleyball to hit up as well. So lots to get to with RJ. Let's jump right into it. We'll take our quick break and be right back in just a couple minutes. All right. We were just talking about it, and well, maybe the leak has already been out there when it comes to the Packers alternate uniforms, and our good buddy RJ Cardinal and I were just talking about it off the air. So like you were saying, RJ, well, first of all, good morning, dude. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you? It's been a couple of weeks.
It has been, man. It has been. So it's great to hear your voice. And I know we were going to talk some Badgers, and we will. But, got to get back to this. As you pointed out, maybe Fox News kind of leaked what the jersey is going to look like. And I know the article is now, removed off their website. But it's – I guess what's your thought on what the jersey – if that is, in fact, the jersey – you were kind of telling me a couple different things. What's your thoughts on it?
So the Fox News article has this initial little screenshot that shows the all 8. And the Packers one looks green with white numbers and a white collar. The Packers collar, but reversed. So instead of yellow, the double yellow with the white in the middle, it's double white with yellow in the middle. But then you scroll down in that article, you could before it was taken down, and the jerseys looked gray or graphite. And it had the old Lombardi BG logo on the chest. So since Fox has taken it down, I'm guessing one way or another, either the picture of Love and Watson is the real one, or the little screenshot one is the real one that looks like it's a promo one, because it's the 8 teams, but it looks like all their jerseys are posted in frames on easels in front of their stadiums. So it's it'll be interesting to see what comes out a little later today. But I think if you happen to have a glimpse of it, or I do see there's a Reddit link posted on the YouTube chat. So if you go to that, and copy and paste or right click and search that Reddit, you can kind of see what it is. And I don't know if it's a weird picture that way, because I don't remember seats looking like that at Lambeau, at least from where I always sit.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. But they look not Packerish at all.
No, they don't. And I had wondered too, because I know I saw it at Shields a couple weeks ago, and the pro shop was selling them when I was there last week. But they got like these cream colored helmets with kind of that old Lombardi logo on there too, and on the other side it's like a script Packers. And part of me was wondering, is that going to be the new helmet? And that was just kind of leaked out there by I don't know, but I'm curious to see what this looks like now.
Is it like the script Packers that was with the old state and player logo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, see, I'm okay with these one-offs, because I know people are like, we're the Packers, we don't need to change. And I'm like, well, you still need to sell jerseys and stuff. So
that's
one way or another, people are going to buy this stuff, and it doesn't hurt anything in the long run.
No,
it's kind of like the Badgers wearing their Lambeau Field jerseys this year. Do they look cool? Kind of. Am I going to get one? Absolutely not. Maybe buy like one of the little mini helmets with the silver W on it, but overall, probably not going to be getting a replica jersey there. But yeah.
That you mentioned the mini helmet, because that's kind of where I'm at. I know you kind of do it with helmets too, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to start maybe getting mini helmets of the different versions of it and adding that to the man cave. But that's about as far as I'll go. I won't get a jersey or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's something like if there's like a cool T-shirt, and not even like the T-shirt of the jersey, but something that's representative of what the rivalry jersey is supposed to be, and you get something with that interlocking BG logo on it, or like the I still think one of the better logos is the state with the guy in it.
Yep.
So it's like one of those kind of things. Yeah, I'm more into the functional wearing, because as much as people want to say you can wear a jersey to almost anything, you really can't.
Right. I agree. So, well, all right, let's jump into it. So before we get to Badgers, I mean, college football and even college basketball, RJ, in the last 24, 48 hours, whatever it's been, has, again, been in the news. I mean, we've got used to be pro athletes going back to college, and now LSU has kind of been at the forefront. I mean, Wade and Lane Kiffin really making some friends now with what they're doing.
Yeah.
What's been your reaction or your thoughts to what we've seen now here in the last 24, 48 hours?
I mean, it used to be really cut and dry. If you got an agent, you don't have eligibility anymore. If you exhaust your eligibility, you play 4 years and you had a red shirt in there, so you were there for 5. You get drafted, you can't play anymore. But I think NIL has kind of muddied that water, because you can get an agent now, so you can negotiate your NIL deals and all that, and you don't have to worry about it. The agent does it. Then you have guys who play in foreign leagues, like foreign professional leagues as youth, but they're playing in a men's league, and they can still enroll in colleges and things like that. I don't see how that applies to the United States. I mean, I saw one tweet that said, I'm old enough to remember a time when players used to sue to be able to leave college. Yeah. Now they're suing to get back in. But, I mean, right now, because the NCAA dragged their feet on setting rules for NIL and assumed everybody was going to just go with what they thought, we're now dealing with college athletes who are making more than the vet minimum in the pros. So if they're going to end up being a practice squad guy, they feel they can make more money if they go back to college. And apparently all you got to do is find the right judge in the right circuit court to put a temporary injunction on something, and then you go play. Because as we've found out in the ways of the court right now, unless it's Texas Tech and everybody's like, yeah, probably not the best look. Everybody is going to side with the athletes so far. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this kind of thing moves playing forward. But I don't agree with it. Once you're done, it also muddies the water with this new 5-for-5, and some of the guys are like, well, I only played 4. So, it's just a cluster right now. And, I do like the people who are like, well, now I'm done with this. And I was like, now you're done with it? Like, if this is the tipping point, you're not done with it. You're just saying that for a fact. You're still going to watch college football. You're still going to watch college sports because, quite frankly, when it comes down to it, I think at the college level, there's a little more, at least, pride in, like, regionalism to some extent.
Yeah.
Even though, the Big Ten now goes coast to coast and whatnot, but you can still have pride in that if your teams are doing good. Because right now, when you have season football tickets here at Wisconsin down 13.1%,
wow,
very in lockstep with how the team has been playing over the past few seasons.
Man alive. So, well, sticking with football then, RJ, I know the team's been practicing a lot the last couple of weeks here, fall camp, and we got week 0 coming up here. But, since the last time we talked to you, I mean, it's been a couple of weeks here to where we're at now, anything that you've heard, read, or listened to that has kind of jumped out to you or maybe got you a little bit optimistic for the upcoming season, or maybe on the flip side, a little bit down for the upcoming season?
Well, it sounds like the defense, for the most part, has been dominating, which I think we all probably expected with the implement of almost an entirely new personnel on the offensive side of the ball. You've only had 2 healthy running backs this fall camp, so hopefully you get at least 1 or 2 more a little healthy heading into this game. The offensive line is a big question. 2 of your Haywood and Mandel, when people are asking questions about them and the staff has really no answer, probably not good whenever they're coming back, unless they're really just holding their cards close to their chest and don't want Notre Dame to know. Probably their 2 best offensive linemen are or are not playing. So O-line, very concerning. But that being said, the receivers room is looking good. You have a quarterback battle for backup quarterback right now. And the running back room for what it is right now seems like Abu Sama and Darian Dupree are holding their own and doing pretty darn good in camp. But I think we'll expect another good rush defense this year, hopefully with the overhaul of the DBs. We'll see improved pass defense because there was last year we had one of the better run defenses, but I think a lot of people knew, hey, we can just pass all over this team. There's no reason to run. So that was a big factor in there. But overall, defense, not really worried about. Offense, that offensive line, they are hit or miss every other day. So really need to see something there. But judging by what the reporters are saying, Colton Joseph is able to get out of trouble and make plays. So hopefully, that turns into good things and not necessarily forcing passes or anything like that. But in the scrimmage on Sunday, he was definitely being able to check down to some of his other reads, whereas one of his faults, people were saying at Old Dominion, was not being able to find anything past his number 1 read. So it seems that was a bit overstated because most of this camp, he's been able to get out of trouble and find open players as this is going on. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we see next weekend. So, just biggest question, offensive line, and that's not what we want to hear.
Not at all. Not at all. Hey, really quick, I saw this on Twitter, RJ. Pete Thamel says, sources, the Big Ten is set to pass a rule today that doesn't allow players to return from the NFL and play for a Big Ten school. Anyone who has declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw, appeared on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with a pro league cannot be on a Big Ten roster. So I got to imagine you like that.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And I think I know the SEC was having an emergency meeting after some of the stuff that LSU has been pulling. And, I mean, I kind of want to know because rosters are, like, almost set. Like, everybody's in school now and all that. If you bring in a guy, who are you cutting?
Yeah.
Like, because there's roster limits now. So, like, you have to cut somebody from your football program. Like, a walk-on who maybe came to LSU to be a walk-on is about to not play college football this year. Like, has all his gear, going to have to turn it in and all that kind of stuff. But, like, yeah, good luck telling that kid you're not on the team. But I know the SEC also was having an emergency meeting, so maybe they'll come out and have something as well, because usually you don't have one conference come out and say that. It's usually, hey, we're going to meet kind of together as a whole entity, and we're going to kind of condemn this ourselves because, hey, we all know the NCAA is really trying to shoot themselves in the foot every chance they get, and they're just continuing to do it.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know if this is kind of but how much is this just kind of like a Lane Kiffin thing? I mean, is it surprising that of all the coaches to kind of do this, it's Lane Kiffin and Wade over at LSU?
Yeah, and I mean, we had a couple of guys in last year's college basketball season that came back and it was ruled, hey, you can't do that. So at least college basketball figured it out, and then football's like, no, it's fine right now. Mm-hmm. Like, there can't really be different rules for different sports, but I guess the NCAA didn't outline it well enough. But yeah, it should be once you're on a NFL roster or a pro sport roster, and that's what it always used to be. Because who was it? Was J.R. Smith went back to school for playing golf?
Yeah.
Like, he had eligibility left in golf. Don't know how that happens.
Right.
But yeah, so it's one of those like people are just trying to find any advantage they can. I mean, after LSU ran off Brian Kelly, I guess Lane Kiffin probably needs to win right away, because he left a pretty darn good thing at Ole Miss, and whatever they decided to pay him, Ole Miss, I think, thought it was not real, and he left with a good majority of that team. But we'll see what happens, because I think they play each other in like the first 4 weeks somewhere. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I don't understand how anybody who participates in a pro league in one way or another, if you're playing minor league baseball, if you're playing in the G League, if you're playing in the NFL, or put on the practice squad, there's no way, shape, or form you should be able to be back in college athletics.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Hey, staying with the Badgers, but I mean, volleyball was in action this past weekend too at the Pfizer Forum. And, I mean, you want to talk about going up against some really good competition. Kentucky, they did fall to 0-3, but then Kentucky's the third-ranked team in the country. Then they swept Louisville, who is the seventh-ranked team in the country, and it doesn't get any easier because, well, they're going on the opening Spike Classic, number 5 Stanford, and then number 4 Pittsburgh. So, I mean, this Badger volleyball program, we know it's one of the best programs in the country, and, well, they're getting some good, tough competition to open up the season here. Yeah,
so and people were like, oh man, they're they're doing this. But like, I think in terms of volleyball now, you have to start being able to participate in these kind of games and put these on your schedule, and you have to get quality opponents on there. And I'm not saying the Big Ten's not, because I mean, you still have Penn State, you still have Nebraska, Purdue's ranked in the top 20. I think you have like 5 or 6 Big Ten schools. So you're not. It's not like your league is hurting, but having this non-conference now where you're just putting anybody on your schedule, I think it's starting to turn into one of those where you need some quality opponents on your schedule for postseason consideration in case you don't win your conference and are on a bubble team. Not saying Wisconsin will be that, but having 4 top 10 teams on your schedule to start the year, a bit of a gauntlet, but right now you're 1-1. You get out of it if 2-2. That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, the only win you have is the team who's ranked 7th because you're 6th right now, and then you go up against 5 and 4. I don't know when volleyball rankings come out, but who knows? Those rankings can change by the time they play this coming weekend, Friday, Saturday, right? Or Friday, something like that. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. But you go 1-1 against 2 top 10 teams. That can't really fault anything for that. I know statistically, and I mean score-wise, that the straight sets against Kentucky, it didn't appear they were ready, and but they still kept it close. Because let's see, I got in my car as that series was ending on Friday, and yeah, they were just going over it, and they never announced what the scores were for each set, and I'm like, geez, they got dominated. But then it was 25-20, 26-24, and 25-18. So it's not like they got smoked and they played bad. So they played them close, and then when they played Louisville, it just kind of trucked them. It was more of a blowout in terms of a better, more respectable Wisconsin team showed up for that game and won in straight sets. So yeah, nothing to be ashamed of except maybe the paper stats on game 1. But it's start of the season. You're 1-1. It could have been worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Hey, I got to bring up, I know we got to let you go here in a little bit, but I got to bring up hockey too, because the men's hockey program announcing a couple of additions to their coaching staff. Looking at this, I mean, the big name is obviously, I think for a lot of people, is Joe Pavelski is coming on board as director of player development. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Andy Brandt, the former coach of the Capitals. So when you look at these coaches coming aboard, from your point of view, how big are these hires for this program?
Well, especially with Brandt and Pavelski, both played on the 2006 national championship team. And you got to love what they're doing there. And then I know it's something that the former athletic director frowned upon, even though he got his job because he was a former Badger. Having Badgers involved, it seems like top to bottom, because, I mean, and Greg Gard, I mean, it's a little different. He's been here a long time, never really got away from including alumni. Neither has, and I mean, that's another legacy coach, neither is women's hockey. The non-revenue sports do a very good job of keeping their alumni together. And maybe with a couple of these hires, and I'm not saying Hastings didn't know to include the alumni, but some of these hires, and it's not like they're not qualified. Joe Pavelski, arguably one of the greatest U.S.-born hockey players in history. Andy Brandt, hockey career-wise, very good. If you follow, then go back and read his whole bio. A really good career in hockey. And then I think Steve, I don't know how to say it, Briere, has a good history of being a college and USHL and NHL goalie coach. So, I mean, you're bringing in 3 quality guys here. 2 have very strong ties to Wisconsin. If they're hurting with alumni connections, Brandt and Pavelski are 2 really good hires that the hockey world is looking at and being like, those are home run hires for a team that just finished second in the nation at last year's Frozen Four. So it's also one of those, not a lot of roster turnover, I think, for Wisconsin this coming year. And nobody's really picking them to do anything. So really looking at it, and that's mostly the hockey publications, because I don't know too many other places that are looking at NCAA hockey and doing preseason reviews. But I didn't realize until a couple of weeks ago the hockey season starts first week of October. They have 2 series back-to-back and then don't play again until November. So, yeah, we're creeping right around the corner on college hockey starting up too, and hopefully having another good year under Mike Hastings to get Wisconsin back to that Frozen Four.
Absolutely. RJ, we covered a lot. We talked a lot. I appreciate the time. Next week, we get to preview an actual game with Wisconsin and Notre Dame, dude. So appreciate the time this morning. Good to catch up with you, buddy. And, well, when that jersey leaks officially, I'm sure we'll be chatting back and forth, too. So appreciate it, buddy.
Most likely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk to you next week.
You got it. There you go. There's RJ Cardinal joining us here this morning. We got to take a quick break. But we'll be right back after these few words. We do got to play a little catch-up because we went a little long with RJ, but that's okay. That's okay. It was great stuff catching up with Mr. Cardinal here. So just in a couple minutes here, we'll take a break. So let's kind of reset everything for the final hour, the happy hour that's coming your way here in just a little bit. We'll get back to some more baseball talk as we get set for game 1 of this 3-game series with for the Brewers against the Mets. So we'll preview that. Kyle Harrison on the mound, looking for his 11th win of the season to improve to 11-3. So we'll talk about that. Packers, the tailgate question. The tailgate question that we threw out last night. Is there a player or a position group after all training camp, because we're wrapping up training camp this week? Is there a player or is there a position group that maybe you feel a little bit better about? Or maybe you feel worse about? If you got one, you got to probably have the other, unless you're just really down. Or maybe you're just really optimistic. But I want to hear from you, all right? Hit me up, 715-830-1912. Or, again, you can hang out in the Section 105 chat. Tried something new again with the video. So if you've been seeing me kind of tinker around with some different stuff and background music during commercial breaks and that, I got to try it on the fly here. So thanks for hanging out. And it's going to be, hopefully now we'll be on both Facebook and YouTube. But don't forget to follow that YouTube page. Hit that, ring that bell and subscribe on the YouTube page so we can get that thing rocking and rolling here too. So, but yeah, appreciate your patience over there as I kind of work out some of the bugs. On the fly here, but kind of the only tech dude for the program here. But anyways, that's kind of where we'll hit up in the next hour. Also, it is a Toyson Ford Grind My Gears Tuesday. All right, it's a Toyson Ford Grind My Gears Tuesday. So what in the world is grinding your gears? Get it off your chest. Come on, hit me up. Make it sports related or make it kind of funny. All right? You'll feel better about yourself. Trust me, you will after you grind your gears a little bit. Okay? So let's take that quick break as we start to wrap up the third hour, the third quarter. And then we're on to the happy hour, the fourth quarter, the final quarter here. I want to hear from you in this one. All right? We'll take a quick break and be right back to wrap up the third hour. Your vehicle is more than just a way to get from one place to another. It's how you get to work. You take your kids to school, you run errands, and you get where you need to go. So when an accident or an unexpected damage puts your vehicle out of commission, trust the team at Superior Auto Body in Eau Claire. Their experienced professionals are dedicated to quality collision repairs and dependable service, helping make the repair process as smooth as possible. Superior Auto Body in Eau Claire, when you need them, they'll get you back on the road. Excuse me. Got a little flustered there because shot clocks had cut me off, and I wanted to make sure to remind you we now have the Superior Auto Body Team of the Week. All right, every Monday we'll post up some nominations for Team of the Week. You get to vote, and then on Friday we'll announce who the winner for the Team of the Week is, brought to you by our good friends from Superior Auto Body. So go to the Sports Talk Facebook page. You'll see it. You might have to scroll down just a little bit. We'll work on putting the link directly up at our website so it's a little bit easier to get to. So, but got that going on there. We got 3 nominations up there. You can make your voice heard. You can vote. Big thanks to our guy Brandenburg for helping come up with the nominations for that. And we'll have, it's not just going to be football. It's going to be all the teams. Once we get some more teams in action and games in action, we'll definitely get some more nominations up there. All right, shot clock is going to cut me off. So the final hour, the happy hour coming your way. We got Brewers. We've got Packers. We've got Grinding Up My Gears Tuesday, brought to you by Toyson Ford. All right, and you, whatever else is on your mind, let us know. News updates. We'll be right back.